Guys, so we're in a special place in Israel today. Technically, we're not in Israel right now. Technically, we are in France. The plot of land we're on belongs to the French government. It is considered extraterritorial territory. So technically, we are in, I think, technically in France right now. The property's owned by the French government. I'm not sure how that works, but anyway, we are just to the north of the Temple Mount. Here we have this big pool right here. It was excavated the past few years, and it's underneath the Byzantine church. And if you look over here, not sure if you can see it. Yeah, if you look, those are crosses. There's a huge Byzantine basilica right there, but it was off. It was commemorating a special event in the life of Jesus, and they did the archaeology work, and they're only off by a few yards. This is the pool of Bethesda. Bethsaida, sorry. This is where Jesus healed, I believe, the man who was lame. He would try to, an angel would, according to the Bible, stir the waters of this pool. It was a ritual mikveh for purification before going to the temple. And people who were sick would try to get in here to be healed of their infirmities. But this man, he could never get in there because someone always beat him to it. So Jesus came along before that final Passover and said, "How long you been here?" And he looked at him and healed him on the spot. Said, "Get up and walk." So this is a great place to us to think about how sacraments work in Catholic theology. There's a normal means by which God goes graces. The Bible doesn't say that, oh, that was a myth, that the angel wasn't coming. It says no, an angel was supposed to come and stir the water. It doesn't say that was fake or anything like that. Just like when sometimes Jesus would spit in the dirt, rub mud into people's eyes. God works frequently by using temporal means. So think about the sacraments. Think about baptism. Think about how baptism takes away sin. That is biblical. In Romans, it says, when we are baptized, we're baptized into the death of Jesus Christ. And that is the normal way that God gives healing. So think about the miracle. Think about all the people who were healed by coming into this water by God legitimately. Probably countless people. But Jesus also works without the sacraments. Think about acts of spiritual communion. We ask Jesus to come in your heart when we can't get to Mass. That's kind of like what happened here. We can't get to the sacraments. I know a lot of Trackouts like me. I know back home I got some bad news. Sspx mission pulled out because there's just not enough priests. So a lot of people might have to go for years without the sacraments at all. And it's a labor. This man, probably right over there, I have a feeling we'll probably see a little bit at the end of the video. Probably my guess as to where the area was. Again, I'm just learning stratigraphy and archaeology. Yeah, you can see I think that's probably the Roman layer. I could be wrong. You can see a supporting wall. There's a structure right there. Again, I don't know what layer is which. Don't ask me. I've not studied the site too much. But, yeah. Just like that sick man who was struggling for so many years under that infirmity, and he tried to get to pool water was there and just didn't work. Think about how many of us try to get to Mass. And we can't get to the sacraments. No matter how hard we try. There's a cat. The cat's fine, don't worry. The cat's rural Jerusalem. The real owner of Jerusalem is the cats. There, international dispute settled. But Jesus doesn't always work with the sacraments. We are bound by them. He is not. Okay, yeah, I think that's probably there is the line where the pool would have been. It seems to be plastered in. So just think about the archaeology. So this pool at Bethsaida would have been like the sacraments. It would have been the sacraments, essentially. It'll be God using material things to bestow his grace. Outward sign, instituted by Christ to give grace within the church. That is a sacrament. So let's walk around while I chat a bit. So here we have a Roman cistern. And over there is here we have a medieval crypt of the church, and to the other side we have like the northern pool, which would have been just like for collecting rainwater. So let's see what we've got here. I'm not sure how much you're gonna see. I wonder if I come out through Hezekiah's tunnel. I heard it's supposed to come out through here. Actually, no, I think it's the pool of Siloam that it's supposed to come out of. Trying to get here for a while. Yeah, so yeah, this area is still collecting water after all these centuries. But yeah, so Jesus acting with the sacraments, that's like the pool of Bethesda. Where he's acting without the sacraments, like with spiritual communion, spiritual confession, perfect acts of contrition. That's like when Jesus says, just get up and walk. He didn't lay hands on him. He just spoke the word, lay hands on the man. There's other cases where Jesus long distance just said, it's done. Think about the centurion's sermon. You remember at Mass when we say, Lord, not worthy that you enter under my roof. That's like the centurion. I can actually get down here, I think. I got my rosary with me. I think I'll touch my rosary to the pool of Bethsaida, water from the pool of Bethsaida. At least the Roman cistern that's attached to it. Let's see if I can get out. Yeah, it's a simple step. I don't think I'm breaking any rules right now. Dead bird, I'm drinking, but like, yeah. Definitely not drinking water. There's a dead bird there, but Lord, to Jesus, give me my sins. Yeah. So, up, a big step up. But yeah. Ooh, pigeons. But yeah, anyway, when Jesus works without the sacraments, that's like when he's simply commanding. God still bestows grace. That man, think about it like this. If that man had not been at that pool of Bethesda trying to get into the water, trying to use the normal means of salvation, normal means of being healed by miracle, he would not have run into Jesus Christ. That's how it happened. That's how it worked with him. So we as Church of Catholics, when we can, we need to try to get to the sacraments. It's not always going to work. Our plan's going to be spoiled. Sometimes it's just going to be impossible. And we're going to labor under sin. But it doesn't mean we should abandon hope in God over being purified of our sins or having to spend eternity in purgatory because we've forgotten my God. God did not forget about that man. Jesus did not forget about that man. He was making him wait so that he could give him something that's even more glorious. So, to one who's a traditional Catholic watching this, and yeah, let me just talk about the area there we were just in. Sorry. So this is the northern pool. This is where they've collected like rainwater, I think, for drinking. It would not have been a kosher mikveh. Would not have been a ritual for ritual immersion. Keep watching to the end. We're gonna see the place where I think probably that conversation took place, and I'll say why. Again, I am not an expert in the stratigraphy of this site at all. I'm just interpreting things as I see them, and I'm a very much newbie to understanding stratigraphy. Here we have a medieval crypt. I know that because we have a sign that says it's a medieval crypt. Again, still learning. First time seeing these ancient sites ever. This is my first time here, so if you think I'm wrong, I probably am. That's where we were before. And there is, we'll be going a bit, the dome is where the Virgin Mary was born. Let's see. I'll go through here. Here we have an ancient water pump. I think this place was still flooding, actually. I'm gonna see if I can remember how to. Yep, here we go this way, up those steps. This is a modern wall, definitely, as you can guess. We're below. I can tell. Well, we're kind of probably below where they would have had to do the digging. The Roman pillars are like further up, so this wall is probably like And it's clearly like structurally attached to these walls, so it's like, yeah, this is like probably, yeah, this is a modern wall. Anyway, sorry what is going on about. We as traditional Catholics, if we are discouraged because we can't get to the sacraments, we shouldn't let it destroy us. God is healing our grief, and He can and will in His own good time grant us healing, so that His name might be glorified. So if you're a traditional Catholic, don't give up. Don't feel like God has forgotten you. He has not. Obey God. Try to use the normal means of salvation within legitimate reason. I do not encourage people to go to the Novus through Mass. I do not encourage people to do that. Because it is not a rite that glorifies God. It is a rite that diminishes reverence, that is associated with modernism. And this guy was seeking the normal, proper means of salvation. I think right over there. I think it's walled off, but somewhere along that stretch is where I think it would have happened. I'll show you why in just a bit. That's a deep pool. But yeah, with the new Mass, it's he was not going to a Samaritan pool. He was not going to a fake kosher mikveh or mikveh that had been designed specifically to minimize the importance of ritual purification. He was doing what Jewish law told him to do. The new Mass was created to support ecumenism, to diminish emphasis on sacrifice and the real presence, to emphasize man. Like if you look at the new rite of Mass, how it's very man-centered in its approach. That is not, it emphasizes church more so than God. And church is beautiful, but not as a substitute for the glory of God. When we pray, it needs to be about the glory of God. So for association with modernism, I do not say. I tell people not to go. And that's just a simple reason off the cuff. Should probably make whole another video on the topic. But today we're talking about the pool of Bethesda and how Jesus Christ is not bound by the sacraments, but we are, and how we have evidence of this in the Bible. Hi, Mr. Kitty. The kitty cats rule Jerusalem, as you can see. Hi there. So this is the stretch where I think it happened. We have modern pavement, as you can see, but I'll say why, and I'm probably misinterpreting the stratigraphy. We can see these ancient steps. And again, by the way, dating things in Jerusalem is apparently difficult, according to some archaeologists, because they carve things in the bedrock and like, okay, was this carved in the bedrock at the time of David or in Roman times? Unless you find pottery, it can be nearly impossible to tell. And things can be subject to a lot of debate. That being said, here we have the stone pavement, and it's not carved into bedrock, as you can see. So this could be a Byzantine Roman wall, but I'm going to take a guess. Again, this is an uneducated guess by someone who does not know the stratigraphy of the site, who is completely ignorant. To my knowledge, based on what I'm seeing from the houses there, I think we are I think I'm at the Roman level. But if we are at the Roman level, those would be the steps that lead to the pool of Bethesda, so you could gradually immerse yourself into the pool. So my guess is that a lot of the people and paralytics would have been hanging out right around here, because this is the entrance to get into the mikveh. You would lower yourself in and purify yourself. Again, I'm not an expert, and I'm sure there's going to be some archaeologist who's going to say, you're completely wrong. How are you even in an archaeology program? But yeah, this is the pool at Bethesda. This is where Jesus healed the blind man, even without the use of that water. And if you're without the sacraments, Jesus can heal you too. God bless. And if you ever get a chance to, check out an Sspx church. God bless.